Did you know that the in-game trait descriptions don't tell you the whole story? Sometimes they're even wrong. Well, I come to the rescue. Hello and welcome to my positive traits tier list for build 42.19. There are almost 50 of them, but we'll make sure to go through them quickly. Before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe so we can get to 100 subscribers before the end of the month. Let's get right into it. Our list is divided into 6 tiers. S tier, which is reserved for traits that are either extremely efficient or will carry a run on their own. A tier, which is for great traits that will always pay off and will be noticeably helpful. B tier is for traits that are just okay, they aren't the best, but you will find them to be quite nice. C tier traits are simply inefficient, or alternatively their effect just isn't strong enough to matter much. D tier traits are best avoided outside of very niche cases or playthroughs, usually not worth the points. F tier are traits that will straight up never pay for their cost, and you simply shouldn't take them. Alright, let's get on with the rankings. So first up, Speed Demon. This trait is pretty mediocre, making your vehicle much faster and a fair bit more responsive. However, it also makes it louder. That makes it one of the very few positive traits with a downside. Overall, it's nothing special, but it's cheap at only -1 point, so we'll place it in C tier. Next is Artisan, which gives you +1 pottery and glassmaking. The issue is you don't really need any glassmaking points to grind the skill. You can check it in my power leveling video up here actually. So that part is useless. And realistically you won't need +1 pottery either thanks to skill books. This trait is F tier. Coming up next, Dextrous. This trait is S tier. Simply put, it doubles your inventory transfer speed and looting, while also slightly boosting your shooting skills and climbing ropes. The inventory transfer speed alone is putting this in S tier, and the other bonuses are just a cherry on top. Think of all the time you're saving with this trait. It's incredible. Fast Reader. This trait is A tier because of how much time you save reading. In fact, on standard settings, reading a level 1 skill book takes 440 minutes of in-game time, which equates to over 7 hours. With the trait, it only takes approximately 5. Across all the books, you're looking at days of saved time. Very useful for long-term playthroughs. Next we have the second worst trait in the game, First Aider. Gives you +1 in first aid for 2 points. This trait is horrible. Not only can you level the skill insanely fast, again you can check the related video of mine, but also the skill itself is borderline useless, only improving your fracture healing, bandage power and limping speed. F tier. Gardener is next, and it's a pretty okay trait. While I wouldn't take it myself, it does give you agriculture, the knowledge of a plant cure that's otherwise only learnable through a magazine. With agriculture being virtually impossible to grind, as you can only really get it by harvesting crops, this trait gives you a head start for farming. B tier. Inventive is one of the best traits in the game, as it lowers every single recipe requirement by 1 level. This does actually include operating generators, meaning you only need electrical 2 for them. At 2 points, the value is insane. S tier. Iron Gut is simply bad. Decreases food illness effects, which might seem useful until you realize you can just avoid eating rotten food to render this trait completely unnecessary. F tier. Night Eater, on the other hand, is a real way to save on food. It decreases your hunger by 25%, meaning you will need 25% less food. Do you need this trait? Not really. You will either have no food or an abundance of it anyway. It can buy you time when you don't have a steady food supply though. It's a simple resource saver for just 2 points, and thus it's B tier. Now let's rate its counterpart, Low Thirst. Yeah, it's bad. Unlike food, water is literally everywhere, so there's no point in having this trait. For the newest patches it used to be a straight up negative, as you could mix water with other drinks to get auto drinking buffs, as your character automatically consumes drinks that are 100% water now, and before the latest patches it was at least 51%. And low thirst decreased the rate of obtaining those buffs as you drank, well, less. Thus, low thirst is F tier. Next up, Mason. Not much to say about this skill, it just gives you +2 masonry and a bonus to finding rocks while foraging. Just a C tier skill for people who want to build a nice brick house early on. If you have patience, you can just get books and do it a little bit later in your playthrough though. Nutritionist. F tier trait. And the unfortunate reality of this skill is that gives you info about things you can simply remember. Nutritional values are unnecessary, as you can just remember that sweets give carbs, butter gives fats, etc. And it's just as simple as this: carbs, fats and calories increase your weight, proteins give you strength, XP gain when exercising. That's it. Outdoorsy, D tier. Only thing keeping it from F is that it's somewhat useful in wilderness playthroughs, making you more resistant to harsh weather conditions and scratches from trees and bushes. Other than that, it has no real effect on your playthrough. Whittler, a fairly useful skill, +2 carving and more firewood finds. You also get some bone carving recipes unlocked. B tier. Cuts Ice. This trait is a bit hard to rate, but overall it's quite good. You won't need a flashlight outside anymore and your foraging radius increases. B tier it is. Next up, Crafty. A great skill, giving +30% XP for crafting. This has a great effect over long periods of time, thus for just 3 points, this gets in A tier. Keen Cook is a skill that is a little bit weird. It gives +2 cooking and +1 butchering. The thing is, cooking isn't a particularly important skill unless at level 7 or higher, at which point you can start using small amounts of rotten food in your meals. Meanwhile, butchering strictly gives you better yields when obtaining meat. The trait itself is nothing special, but it isn't bad per se. Solid C tier, I would say. Vehicle Knowledge, A tier. It lets you repair most cars and gives you a level in mechanics, which is quite useful for only 3 points. It's also the only trait that can give you mechanics points, so keep that in mind. Wakeful, A tier. It just makes it so you can spend more time doing things rather than sleeping. There's no downside to picking this perk, so if you can afford it, it's quite good. Adrenaline Junkie gives you a flat bonus to your speed when strongly or extremely panicked. It's well, not very useful, is it? Unless you're desperately trying to run away from a horde of sprinters, that is. It might have some use then. D tier. Angler, D tier. But the problem is, for 4 points, simply getting a level in fishing and a fishing rod recipe is not worth it. You can get this level by simply watching a Light and Living show at 6 PM on your first day. Literally. And fishing rod is unlocked by level 1 carving anyway. Bad trait. Baseball player, F tier. It is not worth it, spending 4 points just to get 1 level in long blunt. Especially considering most players will not go for long blunt and rather opt for spears or axes. Some might do guns, some might do short blade or short blunt, and if you go long blunt, you'll get this level anyway. Hopefully they make this skill useful by giving it an XP boost to leveling long blunt overall. Right now it's way too expensive for what it gives. Brave, S tier. Panic decrease means better gun handling and better front of vision, as well as more effective melee. For 4 points it gives a lot of combat value, and it's a very popular pick among veteran players. Eagle-eyed. This trait is actually worse than it seems in-game. While the in-game description claims that weapon sights are more effective, this is not actually the case. It just makes your vision better and significantly buffs foraging radius. Still good for wilderness playthroughs, specifically because of the foraging buff. C tier. Graceful, C tier. It makes your footsteps quieter by 40% and slightly decreases tripping chance when vaulting, by 10% to be exact. It's not a very useful skill unless you play with Project Zomboid for some reason. Herbalist is a trait that lets you use plants and foraging to survive. Also gives +1 foraging level. It's fine but not worth 4 points most of the time. Assuming you use it in wilderness playthroughs, B tier. Inconspicuous is a bad trait. You are supposed to be harder to spot, but realistically this doesn't mean much. If you want to be invisible to the zombies, hide behind some objects and crouch. If you want to pull zombies in towards you, this trait actively makes it harder. F tier. Organized, on the other hand, is a solid A tier. It gives you more inventory space in your backpacks, bags, crates and other containers. It's not really S tier, because while in theory it would be nice to have more space in your chests or whatever, you can just store most stuff on the floor of your house. So really it just makes your bags have more storage capacity. That's it. Resilient. F tier. It's supposed to make your character less affected by sicknesses, so you turn into a zombie a bit slower and your cold is a bit less harsh. Wow. Incredible. Anyway, Runner gives you +1 running, which makes your character a bit faster when running. Not very useful, as you usually don't want to run and waste your endurance, and long distance travel should be done with a car anyway. Not worth 4 points. D tier. Sewer. B tier. Saves a lot of time getting that +1 tailoring, and tailoring is an amazing skill in general. It's worth the 4 points if you can afford it. Next is Tinkerer, which gives +1 maintenance for 4 trait points. It's not worth it, as you can level maintenance fairly easily anyway. D tier. You could even say it's F tier, but that's up to you. I personally would put it in D tier. Target Shooter is +1 aiming for 5 points, and it is actually worth it. Leveling aiming takes a lot of time, and if you already have aiming, you will hit more, do more damage, and save more ammo leveling the skill further. Thus, it's B tier. For you it might be lower, I would personally say it's B. Gymnast is fairly mediocre, giving +1 nimble and +1 light-footed for 5 points. The +1 nimble is the highlight, as the skill isn't easy to level, and it does give you better mobility during combat, 10% to be exact. Probably give it a D tier, because that nimble point is really quite nice. Hiker gives +1 foraging and +1 trapping, which is not particularly great. It also does give you a foraging radius modifier. However, +1 trapping isn't worth the cost, so the skill goes into C tier for wilderness playthroughs where you might value your foraging skills higher. Next is Blacksmith Knowledge. It's +2 blacksmithing and +1 maintenance for 6 points. If you want to forge your own tools, weapons and armor, but who don't want to take the blacksmith profession for some reason, this is a good perk. A tier. Brawler is basically the same as baseball player, but worse, as it costs 6 points rather than 4. You'll want to specialize in one melee weapon anyway, so you won't benefit from both +1 axe and +1 long gun at the same time usually. F tier. Now, fast healer basically makes your wounds way less severe and speeds up recovery time. You can obviously just avoid taking damage by playing careful. However, if you tend to get into car accidents, step on glass, fall off 2-story buildings and that kind of stuff, then this trait is for you. B tier. Fast Learner is one of the 2 best traits in the game, giving +30% to all XP gains other than strength, and fitness is incredible value. S tier easily, and it only costs 6 points. Fit is another S tier, giving +2 fitness for 6 points. Fitness and strength are the hardest skills to level in this game, and fitness is also the most important skill as it governs your endurance and fighting capabilities, meaning not only can you take longer fights, you can also escape them. spend less time on waiting for endurance regeneration, and be able to generally do way more before getting tired. Now, former Scout seems to have a lot of benefits at first. +1 first aid, fishing and foraging, fishing rod recipe, starting fires faster, better foraging radius. Now don't get me wrong, this is better than hiker, but it costs 6 points. The levels in fishing and foraging are nice, and starting fires faster is useful. However, the level in first aid and the fishing rod recipe, they are both kind of useless, as you can unlock fishing rods at level 1 carving, and first aid is useless as we established earlier. So the trait can go into B tier. It's not as great as it seems at first. Keen hearing isn't easy to rate, as it doesn't provide any measurable value. It doubles your hearing range and makes zombies approaching from behind appear earlier. If you get surprised a lot, this is good. One problem is that the increased hearing might make it so that the zombies seem to be way closer than they really are, so keep it in mind. It's a B tier trait overall. Stout is a solid A tier. It's the strength counterpart of Fit, giving +2 strength to your character. Strength isn't as useful as fitness, giving you knockback strength, better fence climbing, and higher carry capacity. It's still very hard to level and extremely useful overall, so it will sit in high A tier. Moving on, we have our first 8-point trait, Handy, giving +1 in carpentry, carving, maintenance, and masonry, as well as making all of your structures healthier by 100 HP and allowing you to build them a bit faster. This is a lovely trait for builders. Its main downside is that it's extremely expensive for what it gives. You can easily get level 3 carpentry through TV shows, masonry with mason perk, and maintenance by a little bit of combat. Still, you can stack it with some professions to speed up the level grind by a lot. B tier. Hunter is an insanely strong trait, giving you +1 in aiming, short blade, sneaking, tracking, and butchering, as well as massively improving your foraging by increasing the chance of finding food, as well as giving you higher search radius. The aiming alone pays for half of the cost, and you get butchering and foraging buffs on top of that. Easy A tier for non-urban playthroughs. Interestingly enough, it also gives you an additional clothing option, a hunting vest, which has some really good insulation and wind resistance. Thick-skinned is the worst trait in the entire game. For a massive cost of 8 points, it increases the block chance by 30% for zombie attacks. You could say, "Mate, that's good additional survivability." But the issue is this modifier only affects block chance, which is already fairly low at base 15% plus weapon skills, and it's counted after dodge chance, which in turn doesn't even have to be considered if you simply avoid being grabbed. Just to troll you more, the devs made this trait decrease the chance of damaging your clothes when walking through trees. Clothes. Yeah, this is F tier. Bushcrafter is interesting, as it's almost a must-have for wilderness playthroughs and borderline useless otherwise. Giving +1 carving, foraging, napping, and maintenance, as well as having read Wilderness Survival magazine and getting big foraging bonuses, this has enough benefits to go into A tier if you're doing a specific run. Then we have the best trait in the game by far, Athletic. It doesn't just give you 4 points of fitness, which is crazy good, it also gives you +20% run speed, -20% running endurance loss, and better combat capabilities on top of the main skill bonus. Definitely worth 10 points, S tier all the way. Finally, last but not least, Strong. Gives +4 strength and +40% knockback power. It turns you into a zomboid killing machine with great carry capacity. Combined with Lumberjack, you can reach 10 strength, which is quite funny. It's not as overpowered as Athletic, but it's definitely a top tier pick. S tier. Well, that's my tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments, like, subscribe and share. Have a great day.